I didn't know how to, I was still suffering, but I didn't know how to love myself as per se, take care of Lynn, um, be more loving towards myself, find things to do, just experiment life on my terms as a teenager. Still looking for love in all the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? But he like put the band-aid on it, but I was slowly taking the band-aid off, you know, peeling it away. You know what I'm saying? He was a good dude, you know what I'm saying? He worked, you know what I'm saying? We have our little struggles and stuff like that, but hey, that's life, you know what I'm saying? He never got to know his dad. His dad was a engineer for he was some kind of engineer, as in tech, something like that. He never knew his dad, you know what I'm saying? And I can understand he would get mad sometime and put his fist through the wall, but he never put his hand on me until we're gonna get to that part too, okay? But anyway, but he was okay, dude. You know what I'm saying? He did the best he can do with his situation. I did the best I can do with my situation. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Keep just keep loving yourself and doing the best you can, but please get some help with that mental health up here, because you're dealing with something. You're running. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to heal, and you're hurting other people in the process. But get back to the point of him. He never knew his dad. He raised with his grandmama and his mom and his uncle, and he was the only child. Come to find out, and we're gonna get to that part too. Um, he was working and just enjoying his life at that time. You know what I'm saying? He would come over to the little pool hall, play pool. We chill, you know what I'm saying? Sit on the porch, talk and stuff like that. I go to his house or whatever, whatever. But it rocked on to the point where years later, like we was married for about 13 years. So at that 12-year mark, I ended up filing for divorce. But come to find out, my uncle and his uncle, which was his daddy's brother, they was fishing buddies. I didn't know, small world, okay? And I found that out. And when his daddy died, they invited us over to the house. I never got to see the picture of his dad, but his uncle, which was his daddy brother, they had us over to the house. You know what I'm saying? He met his sisters, he met his stepsisters, stepbrothers, and stuff like that. Okay, that's the way families are, and that's the way daddies were, and that's the way mothers was. Okay, life. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, he ended up being a fishing buddy with my uncle, which is my mama's brother. They would go fishing, and I said, "Oh, okay, small world." You know what I'm saying? You don't know, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? But back in the day, that's what the women and men in Pensacola, they had bases, and they would come in. Military men would come in. Women would date them. Men would date the women, and whatever. However it rocked on. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the way it was. So that's the way it was. But get back to the point. He was a good old dude, but I couldn't keep on hurting him and living my life trying to. You know how God sometimes you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way it was. And the drug and the drinking, that was a band-aid too for me. But I couldn't. It's something I couldn't do it no more. I just couldn't. It was time out. You know what I'm saying? We never had no babies or nothing like that. But I'm having hot flashes, okay? And it is what it is. But get back to the point. My mom, she would call him Puddin'. We all lived in, we would live at his mom. We would go to, we didn't have our own house. We were, trying to find our foothold in life. We would stay with my mom sometime, and then sometime we would stay with his mom, just, and then sooner or later we got we rented a house over here by the base in Pensacola. But we trying to find our foothold in life, you know. And after my mom passed, that really took me to a loop too. And I started coming down, what I'm saying, because she was my best friend, what I'm saying. But we never really talked about the circumstances that she went through. I just wouldn't bring it up, or didn't know about it, or we just didn't talk about it, you know what I'm saying? But now I wish I would have talked about it. Maybe it would have been more understood for me and for her what really caused the problem, or the problem mental health that she had and my dad had. Excuse me. But it really opened my eyes as me being the age I am now and seeing things and knowing things and not get treated like that and not be abused like that. But he was all right, dude. You know what I'm saying? And come to find out, we worked it not too far from each other. You know what I'm saying? It's just life, you know, and trying to love each other, but not knowing really how to love each other. Okay, it's a difference between loving and loving each other. Okay, there's a lot of love. I'm gonna put it to you like this: love don't supposed to hurt. Period. 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 Okay, love is supposed to be kind, forgiving, and understanding, and whatever you want to add with that. But that's my version. Okay, and to break the cycle of abuse, that's what I do. And I love myself for that. You know what I'm saying? And I even teach my children, my husband now, myself, first of all, to love yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself first, how you going to love somebody else? You know what I'm saying? That's just the way life is. And it's hard out here in these streets, you know what I'm saying? Because they going through, you think they love you, but they don't really love you. And then they got this person over here. They got Sue over here. They got Mr. J over there. It's just a whole confused situation, okay? But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Everybody looking for love. Everybody, but what's your love? What is your love? You know what I'm saying? It could be a love language, but is that true to you or is it true to them? What they looking for? Are you giving them what they looking for? Or are you giving it what you looking for? I want to be what I'm looking for, what I need, which is loving myself first before I can love you. I'm gonna tell you I love you, in which I do, but I want you to get some mental health help to see what's really deep inside your soul, bring out what's in there, because there's something in there. If you even if you just go off on a person, or you treat a person any kind of way, that's, you know what I'm saying. Can we talk? Can we talk? About why you treat me like that? Why you talking to me like that? You know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? I don't deserve that. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to do the best I can. Don't do me like that. Don't treat me like that. And don't talk to me like that. It's called don't disrespect me neither. Okay. But anyway, but he was cool dude. He worked. He always worked. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when we first got together, he would let me drive his car. Just being nice and stuff like that. But I still didn't know to love myself, because that was the band-aid on me, that I needed to be a child and grow up as a child, and then grow as a adult, just in life. You know what I'm saying? He was real, you know. But he had we even went over my grandmama's house, which was my daddy's mama house. We would go over there and visit sometime. You know what I'm saying? Just chill, just chill. He was spoiled. He was spoiled. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. But I, but I really enjoyed my life with him, and being comfort by him. It helped, but it wasn't what I really needed. But it was what I really needed at that particular time. We would go fishing, what I'm saying? Every month he would take his mom to a grocery store, what I'm saying? She would help him get a car, just spoiled brat. Bad boy. Okay, but yeah, just the situation there was loving his mom. She was nice. His grandma was nice. And his uncle, he was nice. I remember one time we even went to a Catholic church. I never been to a Catholic church, but you know how they do their thing and we do our thing. Different religions, what I'm saying? It is what it is. But it's good. It's all good. His auntie, they they lived in the tan yard, which is over there by Main Street in Pensacola. They was real light skinned and stuff like that, and it was just life. It was just life. You know what I'm saying? I got to meet all his aunties, which it was a lot of them. They was all light skinned. You know what I'm saying? I was the darker one in the bunch. But it is what it is. Yeah, yeah. But we we live. You know what I'm saying? And I still worked it on the base then. You know what I'm saying? I end up getting a job on the base every summer, working every summer on the base, just being a adult, being trying to be responsible. You know what I'm saying? And I know he would. They had a place where he worked it at. They always have a baseball game. That nigga could hit. Excuse me. He could hit a baseball. I mean, that ball would go out the field. Okay, like some people they just hit right there in the field. He would knock it out the field. Okay, he could play some baseball, but yeah, that was his favorite sport, and he would do fixed speakers and stuff like that, tickling around. And you remember back in the day, they had the reel to reel. He had the reel to reel. We would be a family. You know what I'm saying? And then when my mom died, we took on my sister and brother. We raised them the best we knew how. We got a house, you know what I'm saying? And I did the best I could. Raising them, I think I did a pretty good job, you know what I'm saying? And come to find out, my sister say a thing happened between her and him. And I told, I always been the type of person, tell me, I want to know the truth. But she waited until he died. Years later, I guess she thought it would hurt my feelings, or I would say, "Oh no, it didn't. I don't think so." No, I'm not that. I'm not that type of person. Tell me the truth. Tell me. So she say he raped her, but tell me what happened. Tell me the truth. I want to know the truth because I don't care if it hurt my feelings. I don't care if it hurt yours. I'm gonna tell you the truth, even though you don't want to hear it. But I'm still gonna tell you the truth. But she told me, she said he had raped her. I'm like, okay. She said that's why she was acting up, going through, because she was taking me through some changes. I'm like, well, what's going on? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? I thought we good, but she ended up going around her friend's house where she grew up with. My brother, I asked my brother, I said, she ever told you that? You know what I'm saying? I be wanting, what's going on? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? But she waited until 20 years, 30 years later to tell me what happened. And when your child, I'm going to tell you something. When your child say something happened, or that person touched them or did whatever, take them to the doctor and let the doctor find out what happened. And always believe that child. I don't care if they being mischievous or whatever. Take them to the doctor or hospital and let them find out what happened. I'm here to tell you, take them to the doctor. Take them to the doctor. Okay, I just got to be real with you. Okay, because they grow up with that in their life, and then you be wondering why they acting out, why they going through this changes, and going through things in their mind and acting rebellious and stuff. It's something going on. It's something's going on, and you got to pay attention. I'm here to tell you. As Lynn, I'm gonna tell you. Take them to the doctor or the hospital. whatever it may cost at that end, or whoever in their life, believe your child. I don't care if you up there. Let me tell you something. I just got to be real with you, okay? That man might say he love you. That woman might say they love you, and they touching your child because you don't want to come to the realization of saying that didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. We're not gonna talk about that. Shut up, slap them, whatever. Don't do that. Don't do that, because that's a human being. That is a human being. They deserve to be heard. Okay? And then when they grow up and they don't want to have nothing to do with you, you're looking at them all sideways. They looking at you all sideways because you didn't believe what I said. And you didn't want to hear what I had to say when I was a child. It happened. It happens. Please understand that. Things happen. I don't care if they fast or whatever. Keep an eye on your child. Always. Because you got pedophiles, no offense. You got people out here doing things to children that ain't got no business touching children. Don't do that. Don't do that. Whoever it is, I'm telling you, don't do that. Don't touch them children. Because you've been through a situation. Talk about it. Go get into mental health. Go talk to somebody. Because something going on. Something going on. But get back to the point of, I'm sorry to go off topic, but I'm just saying. And so, she would act up. And I'm going, why? Why are you acting up? Why? Even my grandfather, wanted to go off on her because she was acting rebellious. I'm trying to have a baby by my husband now. She sucked me into labor. I'm like, what, girl? What? I got a roof over your head. I'm working, trying to keep the lights and water on. My grandfather staying with me, and you taking me through all this change. My brother, he wasn't no problem, but my sister, I didn't know she had a problem with this situation. Talk to me, babe. We can see what's going on. We can see. Talk to me. Tell me. Talk to me. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I want you to know I love you. I love you. That's why I want you to get some help. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah, and she's something, she bickering with me, taking me through changes, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a responsible mother and a father. My grandfather there, you know? And come to find out, that's what happened. But I didn't know why she was acting a donkey towards me. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather, he wanted to do something to her, but the granddad, it ain't worth it. Just let her go. Cause as now, I'm looking back and I seen something happen. Something happened. Keep eye on your children. Even though they're outside, open the window, open the blind. Look, pay attention to your children. Pay attention to your children. And I would have confronted my ex-husband about that situation. I'm that type of person. See, I want to make sure my children are good, no matter what. Okay, but look, I want you to know I love you.